Well, joining us for a discussion on reparations is Joseph Williams. He is a news analyst and former senior news editor for U.S. News and World Report. Welcome back to the program, Joseph.
Hi, nice to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I need to start by asking just how significant is it that a part of this lawsuit, not all of it, but is actually finally able to proceed 101 years after the race massacre in Tulsa?
It's significant in the fact that this is as close as anybody has suspected we'd get to any kind of recompense for such a horrible crime in the history of this country. I mean, look, we're talking about a country that was founded on free labor of seized African slaves, that has a wealth gap between black and white households some 10 times higher than one than the other. White households have 10 times the wealth that black households do. And even accounting for education, black people with college degrees still lag far behind their white counterparts. So clearly the effect of the Head Start that whites got by using free labor is still in effect. And the fact that Tulsa is coming so close, but we're still not as close as we should be, speaks to the fact that the country may finally be recognizing that it's time to compensate for past harms.
And of course, Joseph, there are just 3 people still living who survived this massacre, all of them over 100 years old. What sort of reparations will actually be enough for the kind of struggles they, their descendants, and their entire community have endured in the aftermath of these mob killings?
Well, it's very unlikely that the plaintiffs themselves will get a share of money that will make them whole, or at least partially whole. This, if it proceeds, and there's still a long way to go from even having a trial to going through the appeals process, if it proceeds, this is to pass on generational wealth. This is to pass on something to their grandkids, their great-grandkids, to give them a start and help kind of make up for the stagger that has happened over the past century and a half since this riot has happened. So I think the mere prospect of getting close is important, but this is not for the survivors themselves. This is for future generations, which is, at the bottom line, is what generational wealth is all about.
Getting close, I mean, the issue of timing really stands out to me because the lawsuit names 7 defendants, including the city of Tulsa, the state of Oklahoma, the Oklahoma National Guard, among others. All of them pushed to dismiss the case altogether. To the public, it appears this could be a denial of responsibility. How ugly do you think this is going to get?
It's hard to say, but the denial of responsibility has been a consistent pattern through the whole demand for reparations. There have been from people saying that their personal families did not own slaves, to people talking to corporations ranging from insurance companies, giant insurance companies, to General Motors. All of them had some benefit from the slave trade, yet you ask many of these companies, they would actually deny it. California has a state registry that people can go on and look and see what insurance companies held guarantees for slave labor and slave populations, and that paid out claims to the owners that are heads of some of the largest corporations today. So it affects and it permeates every aspect of life, but denial of responsibility has been one very consistent pattern through about all of the attempts to bring justice not only for people who were harmed in Tulsa, but people who are descendants of slaves and who have been lynched and have never had a single person held to account for those crimes.